Welcome guys to another Ask Zenler. Welcome to this workshop. So in this workshop I'm going to show you how to set up a subdomain inside GoDaddy and connect it to your Zenler site. So a subdomain is basically any name in front of the main domain. So a classic example would be the Zenler site here. So education is the subdomain and the domain itself is zenler.com. So that would be an example. Notice there's no www. It's a subdomain. So it's underneath it. So this means for you guys, you can hold your main website. If you've got another website, like a WordPress website, you can have that on the domain www.whateveryourdomainis.com. And you can also set up a subdomain. So say courses or tutorials and then .whateveryourdomainis.com. So you can set up two. So there's a reason why you can do this. Lots of people like to still keep their WordPress sites and do blogs and things like that. And then they like to link into their actual educational platform. And so that's why they might set up a subdomain. So I'm going to show you really easily in about 3 steps how you can actually set up a subdomain using GoDaddy. Alright, so first thing to do is to go into your site and go to Site and Site Settings, come down to Custom Domain, and in here we're going to select our actual domain which I've bought on GoDaddy called zenlerdemos.com, and I'm going to put the subdomain in front of it, which in this case is tutorials. Now as soon as I've done that, I'm going to hit update and you're going to see that it says please make sure you have the following. So there's an instructional guide, but you don't need to watch that because you're watching me. So once you have completed the DNS setup, and that's what you need to do on your GoDaddy platform, then you can click here to confirm. So let's now jump into GoDaddy, into your products. So I'm going to go to my GoDaddy account and I'm going to go down to my products here. And this is going to give me my domains, and I've got one there, zenlerdemos.com, which we bought. Guys, if you want to know how I've bought this domain inside GoDaddy, check out my custom domain video, because that shows how I bought it and how I set up a custom domain. So let's now go to the DNS for this particular domain, and we're going to set up what's called a CNAME record. So interesting, it's really easy. This is now step 2. Okay, so we've done our first bit in Zenler, and now we're jumping into GoDaddy and we're going to set up the steps in here. So now we've got this record come up here. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to add, and we're going to go and select a CNAME record here. So with our CNAME record, we're going to put in tutorials. Now this is just the front part. We don't need to put tutorials.zenlerdemos.com. We just put tutorials in there. Okay, now we need to say where it points to. So where it points to is going to be our actual platform here, which is education.zenler.com. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to point it straight to there, like that. I'm going to leave this TTL, this is refresh cache, to 1 hour, leave it the same as it is, and I'm going to click save. Okay, so now you can see that we have a new CNAME record set up here. It's going to take 24 to 48 hours to done. So that is to actually propagate and work. So that is step 2. Okay, so you can leave all this now, and then when you go back into your platform, this is now step 3, you're going to hit the refresh button, and what you're going to see is you're going to see under custom domains that you will have this. Once you complete the DNS setup, you need to click here to confirm. So we're going to click that to confirm it. Notice that it says wait 24 to 48 hours, so I'm going to click OK, and now it's going to start the actual process. So it's setting up the SSL records, and you can leave that safely, hopefully pop back tomorrow, and we can check that our domain name works. Now when you do log in back into here and you go into custom domain, what you're going to see is it's going to say it's successful. So we need to leave that, and we'll come back to that in a second, where we'll check and make sure that it all works. So once we have our CNAME record set up on GoDaddy and you've left it for 24 to 48 hours, and you can also then go into the site settings and just check that this has all gone through okay, and that means that it's all complete. So now we can check this and see that it's actually resolving correctly. So I'm going to come in here, type that in, hit enter, and you can see our site has come up with the tutorials.zenlerdemos.com. Now you'll also notice if we go into the admin side here, this will actually change back to education, and you can do a site-wide change so everything stays as tutorials by just clicking on set as primary. If you mouse over this, you can see once this option is set, your Zenler domain will be redirected automatically to your custom domain. Please note, if you're unable to log in your custom domain for any reason, you need to talk to support. So sometimes you might have to log in twice with it to get it to work, but turning that on basically makes the site-wide on that tutorials.zenlerdemos.com. Okay, so really easy to set up subdomain with GoDaddy, and that's how you do it.